Good evening. Good evening. Good evening, good people. How's everyone doing tonight? I'm your boy Alvin, and it is Friday, November the 12th. Can you believe it? Yes, Friday, November the 12th, and we are ready for another episode of He Said, He Said, He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned Black man's perspective. Thank you for joining us tonight for our show, Diabetes, the Silent Killer. And we have with us a very special guest tonight, author E.K. Ray. I hope everybody has had a wonderful week. If you live in DC, it has been absolutely gorgeous this week. Okay, until today, and it rained, but we needed the rain. So, but I have to admit, it has been a very beautiful week. So, look, tonight, in honor of Diabetes Awareness Month, as we told you last week, this show tonight is about diabetes. Diabetes awareness. Excuse me. So I want to jump right into the show because we want to make sure that you get as much out of this show as you possibly can tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So when folks are coming on, we will acknowledge you as we see you. But I'm just going to go ahead and start. For many of you, I know most of you know that African American people are more likely to develop diabetes than white American people. This may be because they are more likely to experience barriers to methods that could lower their likelihood of developing this awful disease. According to the Centers for Disease Control Prevention, the CDC, around 10.5% of the population in the United States had diabetes in 2019. Also in that report, diagnosed diabetes was at 11.7% among non-Hispanic Black people in the United States and 7.5% among non-Hispanic white people in the United States. The report also said that non-Hispanic Black people were twice as likely as non-Hispanic white people to die from the disease, according to the United States Department of Health and Human Services. These racial disparities, though, ladies and gentlemen, concerning diabetes may be due to a combination of environmental, socioeconomic, psychological, and genetic factors. But our show tonight are not about statistics. At our show tonight, we will look at how a person can prevent and manage diabetes, as well as outline the roadblocks that affect African American people regarding the same measures. We have author E.K. Ray here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and this brother is living, managing, striving, and I mean beating diabetes, ladies and gentlemen. And in his new book, Diabetes, the Silent Killer, How I Survived Diabetes, there is a boatload of information in this book that many of you need to buy and keep. Whether you have diabetes or not, you need to have this book. There's some important information about dieting and just how to eat right. And he's going to tell you all of that, how he's doing that in his journey. And our second portion of the show, The Art of It, we are introducing you to a brother. He's the creator and choreographer of Jam the Review. And his new show is right here in Washington, D.C., Jam 12 Days of Christmas, that will debut on November the 19th and the 20th. Mr. Jeremy McShann. Can't wait for you to meet him, ladies and gentlemen. The show is a blast, and we're giving away 2 free tickets. So stay tuned. We will tell you again how to do it. It's still going on, and you have time to get your tickets. Well, I'm doing this show, and I need to bring on my seasonings. Hey, Brent, how you doing, buddy? I need to bring on my seasonings because, I can't do it without them. So would you please join to the He Said stage, Mr. Vosh Bodie and Mr. Saladin Dare. Hey, hey, that's right. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. Hey.
Oh, hey guys.
How you guys feeling tonight?
Doing all right. Saladin, I see you were reading a book. How about
Oh yeah, I'm giving schoolboy realness over here.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Reading the only book worth reading this day.
See? Okay, there's another book. And we will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, again, how you can get the book. But yes. I'm glad that you all got it. Thanks to E.K. Ray for making sure that we got a copy of the book tonight. But you guys have had a great week, I assume?
I'm alive and here to talk about it. So it's, you know.
Yeah, it's been a week. It's been a month. October was a big month. But here, and so happy to be here because we're going to save a life today. I feel it.
Come on now. And look, you're doing it with such a beautiful smile, Bosh. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you. I that smile just did something to my spirit. Hey, Sean, how you doing? But you guys, I wanna, gotta bring something to you all's attention. I don't know if you all been reading the news, but with everything that's going on, every now and then something will come up and it's just like, I'm like, well, damn. That's more ridiculous than the last thing that I wanted to talk about. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about, and don't get mad with us, we're going to talk about Tina Turner. Have you all heard about Tina Turner and her? She's suing someone in Germany for a show that's going on. Have you heard about that?
No. Talk to me about this. What's going on?
Okay, Tina Turner is suing a tribute act in Germany for looking too much like her. Tina Turner's 81 years old, and she's duking it out in court right now with this artist by the name of Dorothea Coco Fletcher, who's 30 years old. And she performs in an unofficial tribute show called Simply the Best. Tina's lawyers allege that Fletcher looks so much like Tina Turner in promotional posters that fans may mistakenly think that it's the real Tina Turner. So I'm going to ask Norman.
Alvin, let me call you guys back.
Norman, before we dive in, Norman, can you bring up Tina Turner? Now, this is Tina Turner at 81. Okay.
That's a wig.
Okay, but it's Tina Turner. Can we bring up Coco? Okay, that's Coco.
Okay,
at 30. And can we bring up Coco?
If I was Coco, I would be thoroughly insulted.
Okay.
First of all.
Oh, come on. Talk to me about that, guys. Come on.
Well, look, they do look really similar, but that's intentional because she is doing a tribute act. So she's doing everything she can to look like Tina.
Yeah. And it looks as if she based her entire career upon impersonating Tina Turner. And so at some age, someone probably said to her, or she probably realized, oh, I look like a young Tina Turner, not an 81-year-old Tina Turner.
Well,
right.
This is one of those situations that I think when you know you're doing something good, folks come at you. Okay. So I think that, first of all, Tina Turner wouldn't even be bothering her if this was somebody whose wig was crooked or she wasn't embodying the person that she's portraying, number one. And coming across, basically complimenting Tina Turner.
Yeah. Well, how does she sound? Does she sound like her? Have you heard her?
Or is she simply a mess?
Who's Tina Turner we talking about? I mean, I also think that Tina's actions is sending messages, a pretty bad message, because we all know female impersonators for years, that's their job. They are embodying other celebrities, and they look like celebrities. There's a person who I'm not going to name on my show, but she does a Beyonce that is absolutely incredible. So for Tina Turner to do something like this and send a message, and if she wins, she's sending a message to other people to say, okay, you can go out and do the same thing and prevent that person from making money.
Wait, is Dorothea a female impersonator, or is she a woman who impersonates?
She's a real woman. She's a real woman. She's a real woman.
She's a woman.
She's a woman. So, it's just, and Brent said it's about how the
merchandising was presented.
Merchandising. I did read that, but it didn't say, even if her picture's on it. I saw a flyer with Coco's picture on it, and she didn't look. Anybody who walk up to there and think that Tina Turner is doing that show every night, they should be cursed out a little bit. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I can understand her saying, look, get your publicity right so people are very clear that Simply the Best is a tribute band and it's not just alluding to the fact that maybe Tina Turner's showing up. I can understand her sort of being clear about that. But other than that, you know.
Well, Ike gave her name. She wanted her name, right? Ike gave it to her. That's all she wanted. All she wanted was her name. And Ike gave her name. She said, that's all she wanted. So she got that. So Tina, leave Coco alone and let Coco go do her show is what I'm saying. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. I just thought that was just, it annoyed me to think that she was doing that. But money's money.
Well, I can't wait to see. I'm going to do some research on this to see what's going on, because I'd like to see what happens. And you're right, Alvin. If she wins and says, hey, you can't look too much like me and go out and do me, it's sending a ripple through the entertainment industry.
I know. I can never. That means I can't impersonate P. Diddy or The Rock or Usher.
That would be true. If she won, that would be true, my darling Saladin. That would be true. So yeah, I just think it's kind of ridiculous that she has this claim. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys in the catch up, because that kind of struck me. But are you guys ready for the show?
Oh yes.
Ready to bring EK on?
Oh yeah.
All right.
It's going to be a good show.
It's going to be a great show. So our special guest tonight is an American published author, diabetes awareness advocate, healthy living speaker, chef of healthy foods, and Wells, a TV, radio, entertainment, marketing, public relations, and crisis management executive. EK's client list as a spokesperson and PR agent includes prominent sports figures like Darryl Strawberry, Eric Davis, boxing champion Thomas the Hitman Hearns, and he also boasts music royalty like Terry Norris, Grammy Award-winning producer, writer, and singer, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds, Grammy Award-winning recording artist Boyz II Men, Janet Jackson, and Bobby Brown. But over the years, EK's high-priority clients have become himself. After falling dangerously ill to diabetes and didn't know it, he changed his life by shedding 232 pounds and became a healthy living fitness enthusiast and diabetes awareness advocate. Healthy living speaker and author, EK Ray now travels the country promoting his memoir, Diabetes, the Silent Killer, How I Survived, to inspire others living with the devastating disease that you too can turn your life around by not allowing diabetes to beat you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the He Said platform tonight, author EK Ray. Hey, EK.
Hey, hello. How are you guys? I'm happy to be here. Yes, there we go.
Thank you again for joining us. And you know, again, November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and EK and I have worked together on, I've told you all that I have this gala that I do every year and haven't been able to do because of COVID for the past 2 years, but EK was one of the speakers at one of the shows, I think it's 2018, and did a fantastic job. So I'm so glad that you're with us tonight, man. Thank you. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to when we can do it again. And this time I'm small enough to walk in the show. Oh. You better have a sip on that one.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take it where I need to go. Well, I will definitely keep that in mind. Well, we're going to kick this off, EK, and please, all of our viewers, if you have any questions, you know, please let us know, respond and let us know how you feel. We are watching you. So, EK, in your book, in chapters 1 and 2, you write about what it was like growing up as a child. So my first question is, you know, did you grow up in a home where the environment allowed you to have a healthy eating lifestyle?
A little yes and no. Parents, Southern background, so there was a lot of Southern cooking that took place. But also my father is a military person, and most of my siblings were in the military. So it was a bit of health consciousness that was there, that was taking place. But again, the Southern food came into play there as well. So you ate the fried chicken, the fried pork chops, the fried fish, and all the accoutrements that came with it, the mashed potatoes and the whole bit. So you had that. So it was, I guess for my parents at the time, and being Black, just being able to good quality home for their kids. I won't say that the health quality of the food was at the toppest of the list, but it was also just made that we had good food. So it was a mixed balance. But I will say for me, my mom had diabetes in the gestational period while she was carrying me. So, and that happens to a lot of women. And sometimes it continues on after the pregnancy, and sometimes it goes away. So for me, it continued on with my mom. And then later down in life, obviously, it transformed to me.
To you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. So I have a quick how heavy were you?
I was about 434, I think. It was at the highest. The pictures that you show with Alfre Woodard, I saw myself and said, no more pictures.
Can we
And I
see
was
that
just like,
picture
I'm
again,
done.
please, Norman? Can we see that picture of him
Wow.
and Alfre Woodard? Is that
Four-
possible to put back up?
Yeah, I was
Four-
442, 434, and I was a 54-inch waist. Today I am 98 pounds and I am a 36 waist, 35, 36-inch waist.
So
You're
Alfred's
98. You're
You're
98
98 pounds?
198.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Lord.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no,
Thank you.
no,
I was about to say,
198.
Temperature, go away from me with this.
No,
Because I was
No.
doing math because Alfre is not tall, and I was like, okay, if you're
No.
not,
Okay, we got okay.
But you're
Yeah,
snatched
no.
nonetheless. So EK
Okay.
snatched in dancer slang. Snatch means svelte, fit, and trim. So you are snatched. And congratulations on your weight loss
Congratulations to
journey.
Thank
you.
you so much. I thank you. Truly, the struggle is real. So I mean, but for me, before COVID hit, my goal was to get to 185, so I can have a living weight between 190 and 200, because I'm 6'3" and a half, almost 6'4". So a good healthy living weight for me would be somewhere between 190 and 200. But I wanted to get down to 185, so that way I could build back with more muscle and find my living space that I can have, that I can bounce back and forth in between. So before COVID hit, just before it hit, I was at 189. I was almost at my goal. So, and the struggle has been real to keep under 200 this entire almost 2 years. So
I'm the Luther Vandross of dance. I understand.
Okay.
well, EK, you nearly died, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
Can you tell us about learning that you had diabetes, nearly dying, and how that became your book, Diabetes, the Silent Killer, How I Survived? Available in fine bookstores.
Yeah. So what I love it. What happened was basically, as we all plan a vacation and we all want to look good for our vacation. So I mean, constantly working all the time, and when you leave the office late, it was stop by the carryout store, pick something to eat, not eating well at all. I was trying to get healthy to go on vacation to, I think we were going to St. Kitts, I believe. And at the time, there was this diet, strawberries and pineapples. And I was just strawberry and pineapples all day long. And what I didn't know, I was actually sending myself over the cliff. So it got to a point where I was just constantly running to the bathroom all the time. And then it got to the point where I was dropping weight. And I didn't quite understand where it was coming from. At first, I thought, well, it's because of the diet and what you're doing. And then it just got to the point where I was getting to the point lethargic. I was tired. I couldn't get up. I would start my process to get up at 4:45 in the morning for me to get up and out of bed, because I could not lift my body up. And I was just that drained. My body was to the point that it was not trying to move. You're done. And it took me that long. So I would start at 4:45 with the alarm clock just to get up, to be up by 7, maybe 8 o'clock. And my office wasn't that far. It was walkable to be in the office by 9, but I still wouldn't get there till 9:30, 10 o'clock, because it took just that much time for me to get the energy and get myself up together to get there. And I just kept going. I wasn't paying attention to what was happening. And what happened for me was, I'd gone to the movies with a good girlfriend of mine. She worked out at NIH, and thank God I was with her. And we had gone to the movies, and within the first, I would say 20 minutes of the movie, I had gone to the bathroom about 15 times. And she said to me, "Boy, what is wrong with you? That's not right. Something's not right." And I said, "Well, I had gone to the doctor. He told me it was a virus. Take some pills and I would be okay." And she said no. And so she got me into her diabetic endocrinologist. I walked, and that was, I think we were at the movies on Saturday. She got me in that Monday. walked into his office. He took a preliminary scan of me, did my quick vital check and so forth. And then they started moving around really quickly. And I'm sitting going, why are they buzzing around me? And they're looking at me like, are you okay? You need water? How did you get here? Were you able to walk? And I'm looking at them like, yeah, I'm fine. What's going on? And so they, at that particular numbers, they looked at my A1C. And your A1C is your blood sugar count over 3 to 4 month period of time. So for me, when they did that, my A1C number was over 1,700. 1,700 means death. You should be dying.
Okay.
The average person is way below that. They're 400, 500, somewhere in there. So I was at 17. So that was deadly at that point. They immediately tried to get me on insulin pills. They had me come back into the office that Wednesday to show me how to give myself needle injections. I was just trying to, get it done, but I'm still work mode. Got to get it done. Got to get it done. I had a presentation that Friday. I was leaving to go away for Memorial Day weekend that Saturday. I was out of here. I was on my way to St. Kitts. So I'm not thinking the severity of what's happening to me at that point. And that Wednesday, I went back into the doctor's office. I almost missed it because I was too busy to go back to the doctor's office. But I did go in. They got my medicines and they got me on my insulins, how to inject myself. And that Thursday, I felt like crap. I couldn't do anything. Friday, I got up and went into the office. I had a presentation with the CEO of the company that I was working with. I did what I needed to do. There was a kitchen and a bathroom adjacent to the conference room in the office building. I did what I needed to do, sat there at the table, shoved a little salad around that they had for us to eat, didn't bother it. I got up and excused myself to go to the bathroom. I had to vomit. And at this point, I'm vomiting foam. I had vomited so much that there was nothing else for me to vomit up, and just foam is coming up. And when I went back into the meeting, one of my colleagues I'm sitting next to, and she says, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." She said, "Well, we could hear you vomiting in the bathroom." And I was just like, "Oh, crap." So I got through the meeting, had one of the guys to drop me off at home. Mind you, I lived in walking distance, but didn't have the strength to walk home. And I told him, "Hey, see you later. Fine, goodbye." Saturday, the housekeeper came by to clean up because, like everybody else, when I come back from vacation, I want a clean house. So she came by to clean, and she's looking at me. She's going, "Mr. Eric, look so good." And I'm like, "Claudia, I'm fine. Just don't do the bedroom," because I'm in a bed laying there. And she's like, "Are you sure?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine." So, and at that point, all I could eat was tea, and I had gone from an apple to a peach because the peach was softer and I could swallow that. And I just couldn't get anything down. So Claudia left around 12, 1 o'clock that afternoon. She was done. I went to the bathroom again and I'm vomiting, and this time I'm just violently vomiting into the toilet. And again, it's foam and it's getting to the point, it's really not much of that coming up anymore. I'm just hurling. And I'm sitting with my back against the tub and my face basically over the toilet. And I ended up calling a good friend of mine saying, "Hey, are you busy?" Well, no, I called the doctor first and told him what was going on. And he said, "Where are you?" I told him I was at home. He said, "Can you get to the hospital?" He told me to go to GW, which was where he practiced as well. He said to tell him that you are in DK and that you are in you're my patient, and they'll know what to do. So I called my friend after that. And I'm Eric. I hate to ask people for anything. And I'm asking her, "Are you busy?" And she's like, she was getting ready to tell me no. And so I said, "Well, I need to go to the emergency. Can you come get me?" She came and got me, took me there. We go into the emergency room. They take me back to take my vitals. And I'm fine at this point. It still hadn't really hit me. The nurse takes my vitals and she looks at me and she just freaks out and just starts going like, "Oh my God, let me get you a wheelchair. You can't walk, you can't this." And I'm like, "I'm fine. I walked in here." And she's really freaking out. So she's like, "We're going to take you to the back." So they took me to the back, and they actually took me to a room with a door. And most emergency rooms, there's no doors. It's just a bunch of beds and curtains. And I'm looking at it like, okay. And then all these doctors come in. They started putting all the EKGs on me. They're wiring me up. And I'm like, "What's going on?" And I'm looking at her. And so she said, "We need things are not looking too good, but you should be okay. Let me just get everything in place and we'll get you set." So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, let's spend a couple of hours here. I'll be good. I'll be going home. So by the time they came back in to see me again, and I asked her, I said, well, am I going home? She said, no, we're waiting for a room for you. And I said, okay, wait, so I'm just going to stay overnight? She said, no. She said, we're waiting for a room for you in ICU. And I paused for a moment, and I looked at her, and I said, wait, isn't that for people who are on the way out? And she just stood there for a second and looked at me and just said, yes. And I looked at her, and I said, wait a minute, what are you telling me? And she was pretty much like, yeah, you're at that point. And they wheeled me in. They left me in the room for a while till I found me a bed. They took me up there. I stayed in Georgetown for 2 weeks, taking a needle every hour on the hour, of them taking blood, insulin. I was connected to all types of drips that was trying to put in potassium back inside, protein, everything that was needed to have happen for me to get my body back. Because when I was vomiting, my body was shutting down basically and getting rid of all the nutritional things that it needed to survive. So in other words,
so
my body.
In that 2 week period, I'm sure the doctors were giving you a lot of information. You clearly a smart man, so you were aware that something traumatic was happening to your body and that you were going through a near-death experience. What was going through your brain in that 2 week period? Like, what sort of epiphanies were you having? Like, what were you experiencing in that 2 week period in the hospital?
There was the why. Why is this happening? And what is my life going to be like afterwards? I'm thinking, am I done? I can't do anything anymore. What will my life entail? And that was just constantly running through my mind. And it was just really more so for me to grab hold. And a few things that really triggered me to make me turn the table, so to speak, was, I had a family member who came to see me, and she just broke down and cried. And I'm sitting there going like, what is going on? It's just, I feel like I always feel like I'm the person I can muscle my way through whatever. And this was something I couldn't really muscle my way through. And the harsh reality of the situation was staring me directly in the face. And it was time to recognize and do something about it. So, and part of the process there, they messed up the menu. And then so they were still bringing me stuff that had carbs and sugars in it, and I wouldn't eat. And I wasn't clear enough to them to say, hey, this is not the right menu. I can't eat this. The doctor is telling me don't eat this, but you're bringing me this.
Right.
So they reported back to the doctor. My doctor comes in and he's like, you're not eating. What's going on? I said, you said don't eat sugar and carbs. They were giving me sugar and carbs. And he was like, that's good. And he went and got them correct and got the menu correct. So it was just a matter of me of having the proper proteins and drugs put back inside the body to get me back to where I needed to be. And I will honestly say, having those 2 weeks there to pull me back full circle, back on track, was probably the best thing to do. And unfortunately as it was, most people don't have that experience, and they're at home suffering, trying to do that themselves by themselves, which makes it really hard.
Right.
I'm sure. So EK, let me ask you. Let me get to your book and how you talk about how the disease affects men and women individually. But being that we're all males here, my question to you is, share with us your experience with the disease and what message would you share about this disease and how it impacts the ability to maintain erections or have a sexual healthy sex life?
First thing I would say is to do what you're told by your doctor. Stay on your P's and Q's, exercise, eat right, get your diet together and exercise, because yes, it's the men who have erectile dysfunctions, those are mostly men who are not taking care of themselves. So I'm over 10, 15 years in at this point, and I have no problems whatsoever.
Testify.
Tell it, okay? Tell it. So it doesn't have to be you, gentlemen. Okay, go ahead.
Exactly, it doesn't. There is no need for the little blue pill. You can, but if you just do what you're supposed to do, exercise. I move all the time. I'm still exercising 4 or 5 days out of the week, and I eat appropriately. I juice a lot. I'm at 80-20. 80% I'm juicing, 20% I eat whatever I want, minus the sugar and carbs. Right. So it's all about what you want to do. For me, it was the struggle. I wanted to live. I wanted to have my limbs. I wanted to have my eyesight. I did not want to be the person who's sitting there who can't move and can't see, can't do anything. And when I asked my doctor, what did I need to do for myself to get myself together? He said, simply lose the weight. And that's what I did. And it was to the point, he's one of the top 5 endocrinologists in the country. And he was shocked every time I came to see him, because as a diabetic, you have to go to the doctor every 4 months just to make sure everything is good. And I would go in and there was a 10-pound weight loss, 15-pound weight loss, a 7-pound weight loss. It was to the point he asked me, are you okay? Everything all right? And I told him, I said, you said lose the weight and I can stop taking the needle injections. Right. And he said, okay, you're actually doing what I said. So a lot of us, especially Black men, we don't like to go to the doctor. We don't like to do what we're told when it comes to health. And it's, if you really listen to your doctors and do what you need to do, even if you just walk around the block, you know, the simple stuff will help you out tremendously. And a lot of times we don't really do that as we should, and we fall by the wayside. And the reason why my book is called Diabetes, the Silent Killer, is because it works from inside out, destroying your heart, your liver, your kidney, everything inside, causing you to lose limbs, your blood flow slows down because of all the different things that can happen to you at that point. And then by the time you really do something where it presents itself, where you see what it is, it's normally too late.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
And EK, do you think that the traditional Black American diet contributes to Black Americans being disproportionately impacted by diabetes, or could it be the commercial mass marketed fast foods, or both?
It's both. It's a combination of. I mean, because if you look back historically, we've always been given the scraps, and and even to this day, even those of us who become quite successful, what do we do on a traditional Thanksgiving day? We go back and we get the chitlins and all this stuff, and we put them in a beautiful bowl, but it's still the same crap. Right. You know, we don't really change that at all. So, and then you have to realize, go around and look in your neighborhood, look in your urban neighborhoods, your Black community. Those are food deserts. You may have a little bodega here and there, and if you go in, there are no diet sodas. There's no wheat bread. There's no skim milk. There is nothing there to give these people a chance to try to do better. Think about it. If your grocery store is 3 miles away, you don't have a car, everybody is not able to jump in an Uber to go to the grocery store to go grocery shopping. So that means that person has to get on a bus, they have to walk, and then they got to carry it all back. 9 times out of 10, your elderly person, you're a middle-aged person, your person who is suffering from whatever ailment that they have, they're not doing that. They're going to go to that bodega and buy what they can buy there, and that's not the best. Right. And so it's both causes that's putting us in this position where we can't get ahead with this. Right. I do a lot of stuff, and I've done things with American Diabetes Association, and I think they're an awesome organization. My thought process is that CDC, they need to focus more on the community that's suffering the most from it. A lot of places are not doing it. You see, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You see on the bus stops everywhere, all over the place. November's Diabetes Awareness Month. Drive around yourself. Do you see any signs telling anybody in the hood that Diabetes Awareness Month is here? Here's how you learn how to prevent it. That's right. Dial this number.
No, you don't. No, you don't see that. You definitely don't see that.
No, it's so wow.
So Darren Snell said, "Hi everyone." Hello, Darren. And he goes, "When you say carbs and sugars, can you go deeper into detail about particular foods that are heavy with sugars and loaded with carbs?"
Yes. In the Black American community, they put sugar in everything. You have folks who, when they're cooking, from the sweet potatoes to their spaghetti to mac and cheese, you name it, they put sugar in it.
Wait, I'm sorry, EK, I have to stop you. For a second. Okay. Who is putting sugar in their macaroni and cheese?
There are a lot of people. I see it. I really do. And I cringe.
Put my hands over my head. Okay, right.
I cringe. I look at it.
Just a pinch.
And that's exactly what they say. It's just a pinch so that you don't really taste it, but it's still affecting your body. That's the difference.
Right.
So, I had someone, really sweet friend of my aunt's, give me a container of soup. It looked good. It had vegetables, chickpeas, the whole bit in there. I took a small bite and I said, "Ooh, this is loaded with sugar." I'm like, "Why did Grandma put all this sugar in here?"
Yeah.
I politely gave it to somebody else. So it's just, and you yourself have to know. But
Mhm.
to get back to Darren's question a little bit more, it depends upon what you're eating and how you eat. Everybody has a different way of eating. It took this happening to me to get my healthy diet together. But most people, they want to stick to their French fries, their potatoes, the chips. All that stuff has to go away. You will be better making your own cooking for yourself at home, because you can control those things, those carbs.
Right.
You want to eat more healthy carbs, which are more vegetable oriented, as opposed to stuff that's like starchy and just sugars. You can do stuff where you can go back and not, if you have to have some sugar, use
Mhm.
brown sugar, not white sugar, because it's
Right.
processed. So you
Are there
want to just,
foods? Are there any foods that can, or a particular diet that can reverse diabetes? I don't think there's a cure for diabetes. I'm not sure, but are there foods or particular diet that can reverse diabetes?
okay, first and foremost, CDC, FDA has not said anything about there being a cure for diabetes. I see
Mm,
all these advertisements, come here, we found a cure. There is no such thing as a cure.
Right.
It's called managing. You're in recession. Those are the only two options that you have. So for me, as I look at it, I am managing my diabetes. Although if you take my A1C, you test me, you do what you do, I test, whereas if you do not see it at all. I do not, I test as a normal person who does not have diabetes. But I know that if I lay off from doing what I need to do, meaning eating right, exercising, and taking care of myself for more than 2 weeks or longer, diabetes is gonna pop up. Hey, how you doing? We missed you. Where you been? Let's
Right.
go. We ready to take you out. And so
mm,
there is no such thing as a cure. So all I can say to stress to people: drink a lot of water, cut back on your sugars. Even if you have to, if you feel like you must have some sugary juice, half and half water, half juice. Do something. Take it for yourself to make the effort to save your life and put you in a place where you need to be. Because I
EK,
know, yes,
excuse me,
I'll talk
but
forever.
yeah. Let me ask you this question because I don't want to leave this. We talked to kind of touched on underserved communities and how they're
Mm-hmm.
particularly targeted for diabetes. Are you doing any type of outreach in the communities that are underserved?
Yes, I'm actually doing some work with Crown Food Bank off of Rhode Island Avenue, Northeast DC. I do a lot of volunteering with them, and we've actually just started where I may start doing some cooking for them as well, trying to show folks how to live appropriately, how to cook appropriately for yourself. I am a firm believer that if it's just like how they said, I can either give you a fish or teach you how to fish.
Okay.
So I would rather teach you how to cook for yourself, where you can go in and you can fix the appropriate food for you that will work. In my cookbook that's coming up, I've taken mac and cheese from a 2,000 calorie dish down to 400 calories. And that's all because I cook it myself. I cut out a lot of your sugars, a lot of your carbs. I use multigrain pasta. It's just a matter of going in, cutting things back. Because I try to liken it to the standpoint, I'm not going to get everybody to go cold turkey and just totally do no carbs, no sugar. But
Right.
if I show you the best way to eat, still get that flavor that you want, but still giving you the healthiest way as possible to get that dish that you want to have, I think I've helped you a lot more than just telling you to go over here and read a book.
right.
So
Well,
it's
and
just a, go
in
ahead.
in chapter 9 of your book, you talked about where you say everything that everyone wanted to know about diabetes, which I think is one of the best segments of your book because it
Oh,
talks to
thank you.
them, it tells them about the different illnesses, what can happen, I
Hmm.
mean, everything from going blind and everything. So what is the one thing with COVID now being a major factor in our lives right now, EK? What would you also add to this section of the book? Because that piece is not in
Mm.
there.
In relation to COVID, uh, just be over the top what you have to do. So, like at the beginning with COVID, if you remember, she was expressing that how taking vitamin D was also a good way to combat against catching COVID, as long with wearing a mask and everything else. So, for me, always trying to be healthy, I realized that the multivitamins they really do you no good. It's better to just go back and buy the each individual vitamin itself and take that. That
Mm,
will do you more good. You will actually get more of the vitamins that you need for your body. So I would definitely add that into the process, and everything that you can to stay as healthy as you possibly can, beyond the mask and making sure you got your vaccination shots. And anybody who's definitely, if you're diabetic, you definitely need to have it and go get your booster. I'm eligible this month for my booster, so I will be getting that soon as well. But it's just a matter of being conscious. If you see that you are in a restaurant where there is a bunch of folks there, they're not masked, you notice people are coughing or anything else, you got to protect yourself, and you have to really be upfront and on guard with that, being a diabetic, and pay close attention to it. I mean, and then as well as being on top. For me, I'm used to being in the gym 5-6 days a week. I haven't really gone back to my gym at all. My membership is on hold. I've been going outside to work out. So my struggle is, especially now winter is coming, I pushed through winter last year and still went outside and worked out. But now I'm like, I miss my weightlifting. So I have to figure something out on how to make that work. So it's just a matter of being a diabetic. You have to go the extra mile. You have to take that extra step, because it's your life. And the vessel that we all have, we only get one. And if you mess it up, that's it. You can't fix it. It's done.
Right.
So it's just, it's, do you want to be here? Then you're going to do what you need to do. Okay. Just like how we hustle for work, we hustle for business, we hustle to get ahead. Hey, best health, best life. That's the best you can do. I mean, it is what it is.
So, okay, I see where we have someone, Carl, who has just wrote in, as a man newly diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, it's hard to best manage. Great healthy choices aren't often convenient. It takes effort and determination and support. It's the new way of thinking, new way of living, new path to longer life. True that, Carl. True that.
To Carl's comment, EK, can you talk about the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes?
Yeah, the difference is that for a type 2 diabetic, yours is more onset later in life. Type 2 tends to happen to young adults from the age of 19 to 40, adults between 41 and 60, and your seniors are from 65 and up. The difference really that happens between them is that, so say for instance, my pancreas, which produces your insulin, mine works about 40%. So it's not really working. The person who's type 1, theirs is not working, period, at all. They have to have insulin. It's a must for them. Whereas I don't have to have anything anymore. I'm off of every pill injection that I was taking. So I've been able to get away from that. But that person still has to. And actually, I have a friend who does a lot of work where he is actually type 1, and he's actually coming off of his stuff of medicine that he needs to take. His pancreas is starting to work because he's been juicing. He's been eating healthy, and it seems to start to work a little bit for him. So I think that might be an option where it may work for the type 1 as well. But you have to be dedicated. It's a lot of work, a lot of work. I mean, we have gold medalist athletes, folks who are out there working hard, and they're type 1. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's as a good friend, Miss Patty LaBelle said, I have diabetes. It doesn't have me.
It doesn't have it. I've heard her say that before. EK, based on your journey, what advice would you give to someone just now learning and living about the disease?
Learn everything that you can. Understand and listen to your body. Your body speaks to you. We just need to be able to listen to it. So when I went back to work after being in the hospital for 2 weeks, the GM of the company asked me, he said, you said it felt like you were, how did it feel when your blood sugar was dropping? And he was asking me because I think he was worried about himself. So the best way for me to describe it to him was that I said it felt like I was free falling, but I had no control over the fall. And I was just going down. There was nothing I can do. And I'm just falling down to the ground, but the ground is not there. You just continuously keep falling. And it's a wake-up call to have that feeling. And I would tell that person who's new to diabetes type 2, one of the best things you can do is to understand, what my doctor gave me was, he can give me the medicine and tell me how much to start with and taking, but it's up to me to control it and how much I take. So as to weaning me off my medications, he gave me a basically an area to work with. And he said, you do it on your own and you take it to where you have nothing. And if you have a problem, you can always go back to where you're supposed to be. So for that person, I say, make sure you understand, listen to your body, understand the medications and what you're taking, and you are in control over it. Your doctor is only there to give you a guideline. He's providing guidelines of what needs to happen. This is your business. I'm the CEO of this. And if you're not working for me, you're fired. I'll get me another one.
Well,
So you got, you have to manage it.
You got to manage.
Yeah.
You have to manage people. We have to manage our own health. Doctors are there for a reason, yes, and we go to them. But at the end of the day, they can't feel what you're feeling on the inside. You know, they don't know how you're feeling. So I totally agree with that. We are nearing the end of our interview with you, which again, this show just moves by so fast.
I know.
So I'm going to ask you this last question. With the holidays approaching, how can one survive the holidays with diabetes? Because there's a lot of food around all of us, you know.
Kiddo, we're entering into dangerous territories, and it starts off with Thanksgiving and through the holidays, all this stuff. My best advice, especially for Thanksgiving, because that's the day we eat the most, is don't go to mom's house, aunt's house, uncle's house, cousin's house, wherever you're going. Be safe getting there first, but go out for a walk in the morning, a light exercise, eat some fruit. Don't go to dinner on an empty stomach because you're going to kill yourself, because you're going to want to eat everything that you want to eat. As a diabetic, foods that you normally do not eat or you stay away from, if you want to have a little bit of mac and cheese, stuffing, dressing, whatever it is, have a small amount just to kill the craving and keep moving from there. Use smaller plates. Don't have to be a big plate, and you don't have to overload your plate. And also remember, a doggy bag is your friend. You can always take food home. Remember, it's a long weekend and you're going to snack. There's football games that are coming on. Friday, you're chilling. Saturday, you're probably chilling again. Sunday, just enjoy yourself, but just eat a little bit along the way as you go there. And if you can, after dinner, go for another walk. Drink plenty of water before dinner, during dinner, and after dinner. You want to fill yourself up on other things other than just the food, so you feel full, and that way you can enjoy it. You know, a good thing that always happens to me when I go out with friends, I will order something that I want to try. I love chocolate cake. I will order a slice of that cake, and I will take a bite and push it to the other side of the table. And they all look at me like, "Why did you do that?" And I'm like, "Because all I wanted was a bite. I'm paying for it, but all I wanted was a bite. Y'all can have at it. Do it. Enjoy it." Well, but you just got to kill it.
EK, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for joining us tonight. I'm sorry we got to get to the next segment, but we really do appreciate you being here tonight and sharing your story. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, please get this book. And he even has a section in the back, a journal, where you can journal your experience. So please get this book. Is it available via Amazon, EK?
Yes, you can go to Amazon to get it. If you want an autographed copy, email me at ekrayinc@gmail.com or Facebook me, Instagram at @TheRealEKRay, and we can make all that happen for you.
You're giving me all kinds of trade sensations in photo number 7.
See,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, EK, please don't go away. We're going to bring you back before we end the show. But thank you for joining us tonight, EK. We really appreciate.
Thank you so much for having me on. I enjoy all you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you all got something out of that, because we did. But again, I'm going to stress one more time, the book is really good. There's a lot of good information in the book, so I urge you all to get it. So we're going to move to our second segment of the show, The Art of It, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a section of the show where we just pay tribute and honor those in the arts. You don't have to necessarily be in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, Philadelphia, New York. You can be anywhere. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing to the stage tonight Mr. Jeremy McShann. He's the creator and choreographer of Jam the Review. Jam the Review is a D.C. metropolitan area song and dance review. and he has created his new production, Jam 12 Days of Christmas. It's a musical review that features your favorite Christmas carols and the hottest songs from across the years, jammed into one show-stopping production featuring the J Max, the show's beautiful and talented dancers, and some of DC's best singers. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, on November 19th and 20th, please welcome to the He Said stage, Mr. Jeremy McShann.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy.
Oh, hello. Hey, guys.
How are you?
I am great. I'm excited to be here today.
Well, I don't know if Vosh and Saladin follows you on Instagram like I do. So I have seen I don't know if they're routines from the show, but I actually enjoy watching your routines that you put up there. I don't know if this is your company and you're rehearsing, but I love your IG page for that. It is so upbeat.
Thank you. Yeah, those are usually rehearsal clips from a current production or clips from past shows in the past. So we just kind of like to continue to promote it, spread a little joy and excitement to people. So yeah, thank you so much.
Well, yeah, I checked out. So yeah, they're also in your YouTube page. So
okay, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell us about the show, because it's approaching. Could you believe in January, when you were probably rehearsing this, that November would be here so fast?
Right. Actually, I can't believe it's next week. And so, yeah, we've been in rehearsals for about a month and a half so far, and things have been going well. But Jam, we take some of your favorite songs from across the years and just jam them in one show-stopping production. Songs from the 70s, the songs you hear on the radio. So this show that's next weekend on November 19th and 20th, Jam 12 Days of Christmas, we do that same thing, but we take your favorite Christmas songs from all different types of years and genres and jam it into one show-stopping Christmas spectacular. And we also throw some other familiar pop songs in there as well. So I just got to make sure I go back and check and make sure there's no Tina up in there since he's suing people.
Right, she'll come for you. She'll come after you.
She'll have your show shut down.
Yes.
And now, let our viewers know where your show is being held also, Jeremy.
Yes, so it is at the Fragrant Theater at Ballet Nova, which is in Falls Church, just right across the bridge from DC. It's a wonderful theater there, and this is our second time being there. So we're exploring different options. Sometimes we're in DC proper, sometimes we're outside. And so this particular production is there at the Fragrant Studio Theater at Ballet Nova in Falls Church.
Okay.
Nice.
I have a personal question, Jeremy, because I think I met you like 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't know that you did this. Are you from the DC metropolitan area, or did you move here from someplace else?
Yes. So I am born and raised in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And so I've been here for about 12 years.
Okay. And you 12? I'm sorry.
12.
You look like you're 12, Jeremy. That's a compliment. Okay, I just want to tell you that. Okay, I just want to say that. And Saladin is also a dancer.
Retired
dancer. Where did you study though?
So I, growing up in Alabama, I started off taking gymnastics, and from there I ended up joining a children's theater company called Tuscaloosa Children's Theater. From there, you're engrossed in all kinds of dance forms and acting classes. They do productions for the community and the schools. Actually, during the day, we'll bring the public schools will come and see the performances as well. So I was kind of engrossed in that training throughout my middle school and high school years. From there, I ended up going to college and didn't study that because I wanted to take college and to explore something different. But I always have just kind of been with me. And after that, I just kind of continue to pursue it. It's always been a passion. So no matter what I'm doing, it'll always be a part of me and who I am.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Jeremy. What are you hoping people feel when they come and see your show? after
Yeah,
it's all over.
for sure. I think if you ask anybody about, what the show is, I think they would say it's just pure joy. So I want people, our lives, especially in these times, are so crazy. And so I just want to create a space for like 2 hours where you don't have to think about all the craziness that's in the world. You can come back and just be with people and just have a fun time and just leave with a lighter load on you and just leave refreshed. So our goal is that people just leave with smiles on their faces, and they always do that. So I'm always pleased.
Well, I do plan to attend. And as we said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to see the show, we are giving away 2 tickets to the show. So if any of you go to our He Said live social media pages, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, click, like, share. If you do that, you will be entered into the contest to win 2 tickets. We will select the 2 the winners on Tuesday, November 16th, right? That's the 16th, right? Yeah, Tuesday,
Yeah.
November the 16th. We will select the 2 winners, but please go to any of our social media platforms, He Said live, and click like or share anything from this segment. And also, particularly, especially, go to our YouTube page and click like, share. So, Jeremy, thank you for being here tonight. Much success on the show. We definitely wish you well, and we hope that people come out and see the 12 Days of Christmas. Jam the 12 Days of Christmas.
I did just want to say, if you follow me down here on Jam the Review, of anybody watching this show today, when you go to the ticket link, if you enter Jam with He Said, it'll give you $5 off tickets. So feel free to come out. That's your code, Jam with He Said, and we hope to see you guys there.
Y'all better jam what he said. You heard what he said.
Yeah, because the show looks like it's going to be fantastic. I mean,
it's be a lot of fun. I'm super excited. It's our first show since before the pandemic, so it's even more special and exciting. So cannot wait.
Well, thanks again, Jeremy, for joining us. Don't go away. We're going to bring you right back for the closing of the show. But again, much success and congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jeremy. I was feeling Freddie Jackson, like, jam tonight.
You must go to his IG page and watch some of his rehearsals. I mean, I see it. I've never seen him on Facebook, so that's another place to look, Bosh. Thank you. I see him on IG, and I mean, you will get your life. All I can say, you would definitely get your life. Hey, Monica, thank you so much. Hey, Derwin, thank you guys. So, guys, we've reached the end of another show. Can you believe it? Thank you so much. I hope you all feel better about yourselves, and we'll run out and get, go to your doctors and do what you got to do.
Eat right.
Sure eat right.
Keep it healthy. Keep it tight.
Yeah, diabetes run in my family, so I get checked often. So I do, but it is very dangerous. I've seen the negative effects of diabetes, so it is real.
It's so good that you do so much work for the diabetes community and for prevention. It's really great to be a part of this. So, well, thank you for including us. Yeah,
you're welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next week on the 19th, we are bringing back our finance guru, Mr. Randy Jones, the wealth management advisor from First Financial Group. Our show next week will be Fertilizing Your Finances. It is not too late to get ready for next year, and it's not too late to save a little bit of money before the end of this year. So Randy will be here to talk to all of us about that. If you know him, you know he is on point. Our words of the week this week is all about diabetes. For persons with diabetes, the right physician can make the difference between living with diabetes as opposed to suffering from diabetes. I hope you all take that to heart, because diabetes is a very serious thing, ladies and gentlemen, and we thank you all for joining us. So this is the end of our show, and we will see you all next week on the next episode of He Said.
He Said.
He Said.
Good night. You guys take